The girl with the candle. The candle flickered, trembling against the dark. Sunny leaned in closer. The flame, throwing gold shadows over her pale face. Her tight blonde curls catching the light like a halo. The room was thick with heat. The air, syrupy. She was alone as usual. Her hands trembled as she cupped the candle. Something was wrong. Something was happening inside it. And then she saw it. The world, burning. Cities crumbling to ash. Oceans boiling. Forests withering into blackened bones. Screams rose like smoke. Above it all, a terrible laughing shadow hovered its hands, clutching the stars themselves, twisting them into dust. Sunny gasped, recoiling. The candle flared. It caught her hair. In the mirror, a new Sunny stared back, her hair hackered unevenly into a short, singled afro, blonde and wild, strange and raw, a bad omen. Somewhere deep inside her chest, Sunny felt a click, like a door creaking open. School was hell. It always had been. But now it was worse. Whispered trailed her wherever she walked. Ghost, demon, cursed child, hands pointed, eyes narrowed. In a sea of brown faces, Sunny stood out like a wrong note in a song. Pale, freckled, eyes that shimmered yellow, green under the sun. A Nigerian girl who looked like she had wandered in from some other planet. Today was no different. Albino witch, hissed a girl as Sunny passed. At lunch, Jibaku led the taunts, her dark eyes gleaming with glee. Ugly thing, you look like a peeled yam. Sunny shrank into herself, focusing on her tray, willing the cafeteria to swallow her whole. But the final humiliation came in English class. Mr. Bangura, the teacher, glared over his spectacles. Only Sunny wrote her essay correctly. The rest of you, disgraceful. He picked up a long, thin stick from his desk and held it out to Sunny. Punishment, he said crisply. Lash each student's hand. Sunny stared at the stick, her gut twisting. I won't, she whispered. Disobedience? Bangura barked. You shame your classmates by refusing? But Sunny dropped the stick on the floor. She would not beat them. She would not become what they said she was. That afternoon, the other students waited for her outside the gate. The first blow landed between her shoulders, knocking the breath from her lungs. Sunny stumbled forward, her bag spilling books across the dusty ground. Laughter exploded around her like gunfire. You think you are better than us, ugly witch, Jibaku jeered, kicking at Sunny's ribs. Sunny curled inward, trying to protect her face. Tears burned behind her eyes, but she refused to cry. She refused. A voice cut through the chaos, sharp and furious. Enough! A boy barreled into the circle, fist flying. Within moments, the crowd scattered like startled birds, grumbling and glaring. Sunny blinked up at him, a boy about her age, his brown skin dusty, his eyes kind. He offered his hand, then he hesitated, then helped her to her feet. Are you okay? He asked. His voice, rough. Sunny nodded shakenly, brushing dirt from her uniform. Come on, Olu said. Walk with me. And just like that, she wasn't alone anymore. Olu lived nearby, in a yellow house that sagged under the weight of too many plants. As they walked, he talked about school, about Nigeria, about odd things that made Sunny laugh, despite herself. Halfway home, another figure crashed out of the bush, a girl with wild hair and a mischievous grin. Oi, Olu, who's your ghost friend? Chi Chi, Olu said. Be nice. Sunny blinked. Chi Chi was strange, barefoot, wearing a bright wrap skirt and a t-shirt that said, I bite, in glittering letters. Sunny, she offered quietly. Chi Chi snutted. Your name is as weird as you look. But there was no malice in it, only curiosity. Sunny found herself smiling. They sat on the curb together, passing a warm bottle of Coke between them, talking about nothing and everything. Sunny learned Chi Chi didn't go to school. Her mother said she was too special for it. Sunny learned Olu was smart in a quiet, fierce way, good with animals, good at calming things that should not be calm. And they learned Sunny had seen something in the candle. They exchanged a glance, almost too fast to catch. We need to talk to Anatov, Olu said. Chi Chi grinned. She's one of us. Sunny's heart thudded painfully against her ribs. One of who? It started with a knot. Later, when Sunny thought back, she would realize it was the first time she truly stepped into magic. Chi Chi dragged her to a battered mud hut tucked behind Olu's house. Inside, it smelled of old books, damp earth, and something wild. Olu crouched in front of her, drawing a complicated knot in the dust between them. His fingers moved swiftly, defiantly, like he's done this 100 times before. Sunny stared, confused. What is this? She whispered. A trust knot, Chi Chi said, bouncing on her toes. Once it's tied, you can't tell our secrets, even if you want to. Before Sunny could protest, Olu tied the last loop, and the knot shimmered, alive. Something cinched tight around her chest. Invincible, yet undeniable, the secret locked itself inside her. Olu sat back on his heels, smiling awkwardly. We're leopard people, Sunny. Magical folk, people born different. Sunny's mouth opened, and no sound came out. Chi Chi grinned. I knew there was something weird about you. Sunny's heart raced, a bird trapped in a cage. Was this a joke? A cruel prank? But deep, deep inside her bones, something ancient stared. And she knew they were telling the truth. The next morning, they dragged her, half terrified, half thrilled, into the forest to meet Anatov. He didn't look much like anything. A wiry man with a scuffy beard, sitting cross-legged on a stool outside a shack covered in faded posters. But when he pulled a knife from his belt, it was long, gleaming, and curved like a crescent moon. Sunny's knees locked. Hold still, Anatov said gruffly. He sliced a shimmering symbol into the air, and the ground opened beneath Sunny. She screamed, but no sound escaped. And then she burst up through the floor of Anatov's hut, gasping, blinking in blinding sunlight. She was wearing a dress made of dried raffia leaves, soft and rustling, and raining around her, tiny clinks, little flashes of metal, were a chitin, leopard currency. She knelt there, stunned, as the chitin piled around her ankles. Congratulations, Anatov said, clapping once. You're officially a free agent. Chi-Chi whooped. Olu grinned. Sunny's heart felt like it would explode. Next stop, said Chi-Chi. Leopard Knocks. They led Sunny deeper into the forest, where a roaring river cut across their path. No bridge, no boats. Chi-Chi pointed at an invisible line across the water. You have to call your spirit face, she said. My what? Orlu reached out gently, placing 2 fingers over Sunny's forehead. Breathe. Let it come. Sunny squeezed her eyes shut and felt a tearing sensation like pulling off a mask she hadn't realized she wore. When she opened them, she was different. She could see the bridge now, narrow, slick, shimmering with spirit energy, and she could see herself reflected in the water. But it wasn't just her. It was her spirit face. A gleaming ancient mask with swirling patterns, part fierce animal, part starlight. Sunny gasped. Chi-Chi smiled. Don't worry, it's beautiful. Hand trembling, Sunny stepped onto the spirit bridge. She almost made it across before slipping, catching herself at the last second. Laughing breathlessly, she stumbled onto the far bank. Before them, the hidden village of Leopard Knocks rose like a dream. Spiraling houses, trees woven into homes, shimmering market stalls, selling things too magical for words. Sunny's new life had truly begun. The weeks flew by in a blur of impossible things. Anatov taught them that leopard people earned chitim by learning, not hoarding. Every time Sunny discovered something new, silver clinked into existence. At their lessons, Anatov barked orders, threw books at their head. Literally, they had to dodge, and demanded excellence. You, Sunny, he said one day, tapping her forehead, have power because of your albinism. 1 foot in the spirit world already, you can turn invincible. Manipulate time, see what others can't. Sunny gasped. She barely knew how to be herself, let alone command time. But Anatov didn't care. He sent them into the Night Runner forest to find a scholar, Kende, a journey full of snapping twigs, airy whispers, and creatures with too many eyes. Sunny fought down her fear, walking side by side with Orlu, Chi-Chi, and Sasha, the sharp-tongued American boy who joined their little team. Together, they were stronger. Together, they learned about the terrible thing waiting for them, Black Hat Otokoto, the serial killer. A leopard criminal of monster power, their future enemy. Time slid forward like a snake through tall grass. Sunny got better at magic, reading Insibidi, casting small juju, sensing the currents of spirit energy around her. She felt happier, sharper, realer than she ever had in her life. But darkness kept creeping closer. Black Hat Otokoto wasn't just murdering children. He was gathering power. He planned to summon Ekwensu, a demon of chaos, and end the world. Sunny had seen it in the flame. One rainy afternoon, after a boy was found mutilated, Sunny snapped at Jibaku after school, showing her spirit face. Jibaku ran screaming. Sunny was dragged to the terrifying head librarian, Sugar Cream, who scolded her fiercely, but also hinted she had potential. Sunny left shaken, but more determined. When the day of the Zuma festival finally arrived, the air itself seemed electric. Sunny stood at the train station, her raffia bag over one shoulder, her hair braided close to her head in soft golden rolls. Orlu bounced on his heels beside her, while Chi-Chi adjusted the blue and gold scarf wrapped around her hair. Sasha leaned casually against a pillar, looking unimpressed. A battered, clanging train pulled up with a roar. Inside the compartment smelled of spices, oil, and old magic. Colorful banners fluttered from the ceiling. Students chattered, laughing, showing off small spells and charms. The four of them clambered abroad, weaving through the crowd to find a place. Sunny pressed her nose against the window as they pulled out of the station. The green fields blurred past. Drums pounded faintly from somewhere ahead. Adventure waited. First stop, the marketplace. At Junkman's stall, a chaotic heap of glittering trinkets and half-broken magical tools. Sunny found her weapon, a juju knife with a blade that shimmered faintly inside the metal, as though it remembered ancient battles. The knife hummed when she touched it. It chose her. Later, they gathered at the wrestling arena. Sunny squeezed between sweaty bodies, her heart hammering as two leopard fighters faced off inside the circle. They fought brutally, muscle magic and willpower colliding. When Mick, the loser, fell and died, his spirit burst upward in a flare of white light. He'd become a guardian angel. Sunny watched, awed. Here, death wasn't just an end, it was a transformation. That night, the student social buzzed with tension. Chi-Chi and Sasha had been snipping all day with a boy named Yao, a cocky, loud-mouthed student who sneered at Chi-Chi's village roots. It came to a head under the glowing paper lanterns. Yao challenged Chi-Chi to summon a masquerade, an incredible, dangerous thing for a student to attempt. Chi-Chi sneered. Fine. She stamped her foot, clapped 3 times, and the ground split. From the crack rose a masquerade, made of nothing but stinging, biting insects. It danced across the field, trailing a crowd of terror. Students screamed, scattering. Sunny stood frozen, heart hammering as the creature spun closer. Orlu acted fast, using his calming magic to urge the spirit back to the wilderness. Slowly, reluctantly, it obeyed. When Anatol found out, he was furious. He dragged Chi-Chi straight to Sugar Cream to be punished, and the next day, the newspaper blasted the headlines. Black Hat Otokoto strikes again. Rare book stolen from Obi Library. Sunny shivered. The enemy was moving while they had been playing. The dry season should have arrived with sun and dust and cracked earth. Instead, rain fell endlessly for 7 days and 7 nights. Sunny watched from her bedroom window as the road turned to rivers, as the skies stayed bruised and heavy. On the 7th morning, she came downstairs to find Anatol sitting at the kitchen table, sipping tea like he belonged there. Her mother wept quietly behind her hands. Sunny froze. It's time, Anatol said, rising. His eyes gleamed darkly. Gather your things. Outside, the rain had stopped. The world was washed clean, waiting. Her father said nothing as Sunny left, Her mother pressed a charm into her palm, whispering a prayer. Sunny clutched it tight, and she climbed into Anatov's old battered car. The others were waiting at the steps of the Obi Library. Sugar Cream stood with a group of elder scholars, all solemn. They explained the mission. Otokoto was ready. He planned to summon Ekwensu, the end of all things. He had to kidnap toddlers as sacrifices. The Oha coven, Sunny, Orlu, Chichi, and Sasha had to stop him. There was no backup, no second chance, just them and the world. The gas station loomed on the edge of nowhere. Cracked pavements, broken pumps, rusted metal. Sunny could feel the magic pulsing beneath it. They approached cautiously. Invisible guardians attacked, howling, clawing things made of smoke and bone. But Orlu, hands weaving complex undoings, cleared a path. A strange squat building appeared, an obi made of dry thatch and shadow. Inside Otokoto. He sat cross-legged, smiling, as if he'd been waiting forever. At his feet, the toddlers lay limp, unervingly still. Chi-Chi and Sasha charged first, unleashing wild magic. The air exploded with sparks, shrieking winds, howls. Sunny and Orlu scooped up the toddlers and ran. Orlu stayed behind to heal them. Sunny stumbled back into the fray, just in time to see Otokoto slit his own throat with a ritual knife. Blood sprayed the floor, soaking into the earth. A crack split open. From the termite mound inside, something crawled out. It wasn't a person. It wasn't an animal. It was Ekwensu, a colossus made of spinning palm leaves. Its laughter, shrill and unbearable. It towered 100 feet tall, arms ripping up trees like twigs, mouth yawning open to swallow the sky. In the chaos, Sunny felt something ignite deep inside her. A power old as storms, fierce as wildfires. She called her spirit face forward, not timidly this time, but fully. Her face transformed, glowing, her mask ripping with energy. She stepped forward, facing the impossible monster. Without knowing, she spoke. The words came from nowhere other than memory. A command in a language forgotten by the world. Be gone! The sky split with a thunderclap. Ekwensu staggered, spinning, shrinking, and then exploded into a flurry of dry leaves. Silence fell. Sunny stood alone in the ruins, breathing hard, her spirit face still burning bright. Behind her, the toddlers coughed, weakly, alive. Orlu caught her eye and gave a small nod. They had won, for now. When Sunny returned home, filthy and exhausted, her father slapped her, accused her of being wild, shameful, just like her grandmother. Sunny didn't cry. Her mother defended her fiercely, and later in the quiet of the kitchen, gave her a box. Inside was a letter from Ozo Emena, Sunny's grandmother, full of love and pride. You are of two worlds, it said. Walk bravely in both. And there, in an old photograph, was Ozo Emena herself, albino, radiant, smiling wide, a mirror of Sunny's own spirit. Sunny traced the photo with trembling fingers, feeling the future stretch before her, like a road waiting to be walked. She wasn't lost anymore. She was found. She was Sunny Nwazue, child of two worlds, and her story was only just beginning.